Thank you, Mr. President, Excellencies. Thank you for the opportunity to again brief you on my office's activities and results. My written progress report provides details today, just a few highlights and a few key issues. Mr. President, Excellencies, my office has completed our important mandate to prosecute the final ICTR and ICTY cases. In May this year, the Appeals Chamber issued its judgment in the Stanisic and Simatovic case. The Appeals Chamber accepted my office's arguments that Stanisic and Simatovic are criminally liable as participants in a joint criminal enterprise to ethnically cleanse large areas of Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. As we have repeatedly proven, the crimes were committed by senior officials at the apex of power who incited hatred and fear, who unleashed unspeakable violence to achieve their political goals. This is the lesson we must ensure is remembered. It's not Serbs, Croats, or Bosniaks who are guilty. Rather, the crimes were the work of individuals. It is those individuals from all ethnic groups who we have prosecuted and convicted. Mr. President, Excellencies, as President Gatti Santana has reported, trial proceedings in the Kabuga case have come to an end. My office and all those who believe in justice can only feel immense dissatisfaction. Not with the judges, of course, whose decision followed past precedent and must be respected. Rather, our dissatisfaction is a recognition the victims and survivors of Kabuga's crimes did not receive the justice they deserve. Kabuga will not face judgment for his role in the suffering of the Rwandan people, but it is within our power to ensure other criminals do, particularly those who continue hiding within diaspora communities around the world. Fulgence Kayishima was arrested in May this year and remains in detention in South Africa pending his initial transfer to Arusha. We trust that South African authorities will ensure Kayishima is transferred to our custody within any further delay. Having further announced the death of Alois Ndimpati on 14th November, my office anticipates that we will account for all final two fugitives in the next year. Mr. President, Excellencies, with the completion of our trials and appeals, my office is now firmly focused on our remaining residual functions. The most important of these is the assistance we provide to national authorities, continuing the accountability process for crimes committed in Rwanda and the former Yugoslavia. This is how we realize the Security Council's vision that national courts fully take over responsibility from the ICTR and the ICTY. Consistent with the completion strategy, this Council instructed my office that we shall respond to requests for our assistance from national partners. Rwandan authorities are still seeking to bring to justice more than 1,200 priority fugitive genocidaires. Likewise, prosecutors in the former Yugoslavia still have more than 1,000 suspects of war criminals to investigate and, where necessary, prosecute. We also receive requests from domestic authorities in third-party member states, particularly in Europe and North America. For the last several years, we have received more than 300 requests for assistance annually. This tangibly demonstrates the great need for our support. National prosecutors have consistently reinforced these measures. In recent months, I again visited Rwanda and the former Yugoslavia for consultations about domestic justice processes and the support that is needed from my office. In Rwanda, interlocutors, including in particular the Minister of Justice and the Prosecutor General, have emphasized their focus on bringing to justice those who committed crimes during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. To achieve their objective, they have requested intensified support from my office. Similarly, in the former Yugoslavia, all war crimes prosecutors from the region and my office recently held our annual conference to discuss the implementation of their national war crime strategies and to discuss solutions for how to overcome the many remaining challenges. They emphasized again that they depend on continued assistance from my office. Broadly, we are providing upon request three forms of assistance to our national partners. First, we provide access to evidence and information contained within our evidence collection, which totals more than 11 million pages, thousands of hours of audiovisual material, and physical artifacts. Our evidence collection is a unique resource representing the most thorough and comprehensive repository of evidence concerning crimes committed in Rwanda and the former Yugoslavia. Second, utilizing our developed expertise, we provide assistance across a broad range of legal, evidentiary, prosecutorial, and strategic matters. One important aspect of this work is the preparation of investigative dossiers for national prosecutors concerning priority accountability gaps that are related to ICTR, ICTY, and mechanism cases. And third, we offer expert support upon request to national prosecutors concerning fugitives from justice in Rwanda and the countries of the former Yugoslavia. This involves direct operational and diplomatic support to our national partners on those fugitive files. We trust that in this, we will enjoy the full support of the Security Council, member states, and the United Nations. Mr. President, Excellencies, my office looks forward to the Council's upcoming review of the mechanism's work that will commence in the coming month. We again welcome the opportunity for an in-depth engagement with the Council on the residual functions and other important matters, including at yesterday's meeting of the informal working group. At the Council's request, OIOS is in the process of finalizing their evaluation of the mechanism's methods and work, which will form part of the review process. This year, OIOS evaluation will focus on the mechanism's cooperation with member states, including in particular how we respond to member states' need and contribute to domestic justice processes. With the mechanism's transition to a purely residual institution, this evaluation focus is particularly appropriate. As always, my office has transparently provided OIOS access to our records and staff, while also providing all other support and assistance requested. We welcome OIOS constructive feedback and await its report and recommendation. Mr. President, Excellencies, by way of conclusion, this month marks the 75th anniversary of the adoption of the Genocide Convention. The Convention's adoption was a landmark development. The ad hoc tribunal successfully prosecuted genocide crimes committed in Rwanda and the former Yugoslavia, significantly advancing the punishment of this crime. We proved beyond reasonable doubt the facts of what occurred, including that the perpetrators acted with the intent to destroy protected groups in whole or in part. We also greatly developed the jurisprudence of this crime, notably by recognizing that crimes against women and girls, including rape and forcible transfer, can be integral to genocidal plans. There is no expiration date for the international community's obligation to prosecute genocide crimes. While international trials for the crimes in Rwanda and the former Yugoslavia have now concluded, with our support, national prosecutors are continuing the work in their own courts. And with thousands of perpetrators from Rwanda and the former Yugoslavia still to be prosecuted, every member state has the responsibility and opportunity to play their part by providing full cooperation and effective support. We must also recognize that denial is the last resort of genocide ideology. Denial seeks to erase both the victims and the crimes. So as much as we must continue to seek out and punish the perpetrators, it also falls to us to ensure that the truth is defended and promoted. This is the ultimate responsibility that the Genocide Convention places on us if we are to truly prevent and repress the crime of crimes. My office remains grateful for the continued support of this Council in all our efforts, and I thank you for your attention.
Agradezco al señor Brammertz por la información que ha proporcionado